Wall Street Book Club. Evan Jefferson, brother, much love. Educating, elevating, because in knowledge is the power and we'll never give it up. Literature that's for the masses. Where to put your money down, now how to watch your assets. Yeah, uplifting others is a passion. My brother Evan, he will turn it into action. New Black Wall Street Book Club. You should come read with us. Yeah, we comprehend and discuss. If we all just come together, there's no limit for us. Here comes your host, New Black Wall Street. Evan, take it away. New Black Wall Street Book Club.
All right, beautiful people, man. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put it in a book like The Wealth Choice, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, and we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified global financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, The Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, is a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. Well, you can find that book by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com. That's right, theblackbillionairesclub.com. You can pick up your copy today. While you're at the site, guys, there's a place for the store where you can actually find some other financial literacy books for your kids to introduce them to this thing called money at an early age, to teach them early what we may have learned late. And also there's a space where you can actually decide to actually join our club if you decide to do that, and walk away from the crowd of broke, busted, and disgusted, get with people that can actually help you to build wealth. And but that's got to be something that you want to do. What I said this morning is simply this: if you want to invest in yourself, then why would anybody else? I want you to let me know when you become important to you. Let me say that again. If you won't invest in yourself, we're going to talk about this today, then why should anybody else? Let me know when you become important to you. It's roll call time, beautiful people. Go and let them know. Go ahead and hit that like button and share button if you care. If you are your sister's keeper, your brother's keeper, you feel it's important for them to be able to have this discussion about how to become a millionaire. Now, here's the interesting thing that you'll find. When we start talking about getting rich, it get quiet in the Black neighborhood, in the Black community. When we start talking about getting to the money, it get real quiet. It's loud when we're talking about spending the money. It's quiet when we're talking about growing the money. It's loud when we're talking about spending the money. It's quiet when we're talking about growing the money. It's roll call time, beautiful people. Go and let us know where you're connecting from. What city, what state, what country, what city, what state, what country. Love to know just how far our reach is here this morning on the New Black Wall Street Book Club as we're broadcasting across the World Wide Web into Facebook, Instagram, and also YouTube. Just love to know how far our reach is. So rep your city right now in the comments below. What's going on with you over Instagram? Ms. Newman Sincere's in the house. Thanks so much for joining us today. ITW Investments, great morning to you. We're going to be talking about today how to become a Black millionaire. Ms. Vivian Reed has joined us here this morning. Good morning to you out of Brooklyn. Ms. Nita Diane is in the house out of Albany. Good morning to you. Ms. Goodridge is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us today out of Boston. Also, Ms. Glenda Tate Williams out of Kings Mountain, North Carolina. The boss lady joined us as well over at Instagram as well. Now, we're going through the book, The Wealth Choice, and we're into the last section of this book, which is the 7th law of wealth. And so we'll do a quick recap on the first 6 laws, actually of all the laws. The first law was basically said this. The first law of wealth simply said this, that wealth begins in the mind and it ends in the purse. The second law was the decision law, said this, to decide now that you will not be poor. The third law was the faith law. Simply said this, believe in yourself when no one else will. Believe in yourself when no one else will. That was the third law. The fourth law was the lane law. Simply said this, man, to thine own self be true. We learned there to start doing what you do best. The fifth law was the service law. How may I serve thee? Right? So we learned there that, hey, every day I work on service, I work on serving the community, I work on serving my clients, I work on serving my customers, and I can serve more and I can serve better every day. And I'm just compounding what I do best. The sixth law moved us into ownership, own thy own business. When you're doing what you do best and you're compounding it daily, you get to a space where you outgrow your boss. You outgrow the contract. And you start putting yourself in position, right? To own your own business. It's just a natural progression. And then the seventh law, which you're in right now, is to make your money grow. My mentor Warren Buffett says this: you don't learn how to earn money while you sleep. You don't learn how to make your money work for you. You'll always be working for it. And I don't want you to be in a position when you say I'm ready to retire, that you still got to work for the money. Matter of fact, if you learn how to make your money work for you, retirement early is a very real thing. You ain't got to wait till you're 65. When you always got your money working for you, you ain't got to wait till you're 65 to say, you know what, I don't want to do this no more. I'm going to go ahead and chill. I want to do something else. I want to travel the world, whatever. You don't learn how to make your money work for you, you'll always be working for it. Good morning to you out of Augusta. Mercedes Austin is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us today out of Augusta. I'm sorry, is that Augusta? Augusta, Georgia. Now, we get into the 5 rules, right? There are 5 rules to help you become a millionaire. The 5 rules to help you become a millionaire. So the first rule says this, if I remember, that the best investment will always be yourself. The best investment will always be yourself. Everybody put in the console, invest in myself. The best investment will always be yourself. Are you willing to invest in yourself? The second law, or the second rule, if you want to become a millionaire, says this, right? That your finances, managing your money, is your responsibility. Managing your finances is your responsibility. Now, over the past couple of days, over the past week, the past 2 weeks, I've gotten a lot of GoFundMe things that have kind of come into my inbox or come across my page. Can you help us? Right? We need help. We don't have any money. This person's going through surgery, this, that, right? All this stuff. And as I'm reading this book, I'm saying to myself, man, just haven't managed your finances. Yes, things happen. And yes, we do rely on other people to help us through those times. But you know what? Sometimes it's just a matter of neglect. You put yourself behind the 8 ball when you don't manage your money. And now you are subject to the donations or the charity or the begging. No matter how you look at it. Now we start to recall and recap how much money is coming to your hands over the time that you've been working. And we start thinking of what you did with that money. And now you find yourself in this position, you start saying, you know what? Was the new car worth it? I ain't got money to take care of the surgery. Was the rims on the car worth it? I ain't got money to take care of the surgery. I mean, was all the fancy stuff that I had to have, was it worth it? Oh, now I see I don't have the money to take care of the stuff that I really need to take care of now. So now I got to ask other people because I squandered the money that came into my hand, because I wasted the money that came into my hand, because I had to have all the newest clothes, I had all the jewelry, I had to take all the vacations. So when it came time for me to finally need it, because it will happen. We don't know what will happen, but we know it will happen. There's going to come a time in your life where you're going to finally actually need that money for something serious. And then you're going to look back at all the money you wasted. And you'll say, damn, I got to go ask other people to help me. Now it's very difficult to have sympathy for that individual. You were doing stupid stuff with your money this whole time. And now the chicken has come to roost. I'm just saying. Managing your finances is your responsibility. Everybody put in console, it's my responsibility. Good morning to you, Miss KB London, or Miss KB London. How are you? Put in the comments below, it's my responsibility. Rule number 3, get your spending under control. Get your spending under control. That we just talked about. You get paid on Friday, you're broke by Monday. Get your spending under control. If it don't fit, you must have quit. Act your wage. Get your spending under control. If you don't control your spending, you deserve to be broke. I'm sorry, this is not going to be easy conversation for many people. That's why we don't have many people that show up. Because, you got somebody that's going to actually hold you accountable to doing great things with the money that comes into your hand. If you don't control your spending, you deserve to be broke. Did he? How could you say such a thing? Well, what you spending your money on? You show me you show me your expense account. You show me how you spent your money over the past week, and I'll tell you what's important to you. The good book says, man, where your treasure is, there's your heart also. Let me ask you this. Where's your treasure? Where's your treasure? It says, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Where's your treasure? Where'd you spend your money at? Just think about the past week. See, I know ITW Investments, one of my mentees, one of my students, one of my best students. You know what he did? You know what he spends his money on? He spends his money on buying real estate. So I would ask ITW Investments, where's your treasure? He says, my treasure is real estate. I'm like, man, that's good. You give your money opportunity to grow, right? You invested in something that's very valuable. His treasure is in real estate. Where's your treasure? Is your treasure in the Gucci bag? Is your treasure in the red bottoms? Is your treasure in Netflix? Where's your treasure? Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So once we determine where your treasure is, now we can also determine what's valuable to you. And this is what the advertisers do, right? They know what's valuable to you because they know where you spent your money. And they say, you know what, Miss KB London, if you spent your money on the Gucci bag, well, why don't we show you the Fendi bag? Because you'll probably spend your money on the Fendi bag too. Oh, you didn't like the Fendi bag, but you like the Gucci bag. So let's show you the Gucci belt. Because maybe you like Gucci. And it's not just that you like the Gucci bag, but you like Gucci. So let's show you the Gucci belt. And then you might spend your money on the Gucci belt. Oh, you didn't like the belt. Okay, let's figure this out. She liked the Gucci bag, but she didn't like the Fendi bag. She didn't like the Gucci belt. Maybe she'll like the Gucci wallet. The wallet will go inside the bag. Let's show her that. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. I'm asking you to answer this question. I'm not moving forward till you do. Where's your treasure? Where's your treasure? Where did you spend your money? Just over the past week. Is your treasure in the Starbucks coffee? Where's your treasure? When you start taking account for where you spend your money, when you start taking account for that, you start looking at that thing. You know what? Damn, the now laters got me again. I know I shouldn't have went up in that QT. I knew I was going to get them goddamn now laters. Where's your treasure? I love those now laters too much. I'm gonna tell you. One of the things that gets my treasure. I'm gonna tell you one of the things that get my treasure. Cheez-Its. Oh my goodness! Every time I see some Cheez-Its, I gotta have them. Gotta have them. I can't. Something about them damn cheese. I love Cheez-Its. I love pineapples. Pineapples get my treasures in pineapples and Cheez-Its. I like grapes too. Where's your treasure? KB London said, mine is at Chick-fil-A. Being honest. I'm telling you, until you get honest about this stuff, it's going to be hard for you to be a millionaire. It's going to be hard for you to get rich until we start getting serious and have these serious conversations about where's your treasure. Raheem Buford said, man, mine is on my treasure in crypto. Hey, that's a pretty powerful thing right there, Brother Buford. I mean, that might be a good place for your treasure to be right now. You said on the mic. Okay, I guess you might do some type of speaking or something like that. I don't know. Cool, man. Urban crypto. Where's your treasure? You want to be a millionaire? Right? You want to go to the next level of finances? A millionaire is not just a person who made $1 million, by the way. No, a millionaire is a person that has assets. They have a net worth of $1 million. So you can make $1 million, but you don't spend $1 million. You're not a millionaire. You just made $1 million. Where's your treasure? Where'd you put your money? Where'd you spend your money? Just over the past week. Where's your treasure? Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So Miss Cherise said, man, I put my money in my business. You know why Cherise put her money in her business? Because she loves her business. Her heart is in her business. Where's your treasure? You want to take this thing to the next level? You got to start having some honest conversations with yourself. You got to have if you will not get honest with yourself, it's going to be very difficult for you to rise above your level, whatever that is. If you don't start having the tough conversations when it comes to money, it's going to be very difficult for you to rise because you are at this level because you won't really have the real tough conversations. And it's difficult to have. I mean, it is. That's why nobody want to talk about it. Nobody want to talk about this stuff. Oh man, so I actually got to be responsible for my finances. You mean I got to actually control my spending? I got to put limits on myself? Oh, I mean, what do you want? You want to be broke, busted, and disgusted, or you want to get the millionaire status? I don't know. I don't know what you want. I don't know where your heart is. I don't know where your treasure is. Where's your treasure? Just over the past week, if you just look at where you spent your money, you'll find out what you really value. Now, you might think that you value one thing. For example, you might say, I value the church. Well, how much money did you put into the church? Well, I didn't make a donation or a contribution to the church, but I value them. Okay. Oh, I value the next generation. How much money did you put into those organizations? Well, I value them, but I didn't put no money there. I mean, that wasn't something that just wasn't okay. Well, okay. You theoretically, you value them. In your heart, you value them. But the book says, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So either you're lying or the book's lying. Which one is it? Either you're not being honest or the book is dishonest. Which one is it? I just want to know. Which one you think? Which one you think is telling the truth and which one you think is telling a lie, telling the fib? You or the book? Which one? Where's your treasure? Brother Wilhelm said, man, I put my money in my investments. Miss Crystal said, man, my money started going towards paying off my debt, becoming debt-free, debt reduction. See, her heart is like, man, I'm gonna free myself. Where's your treasure? Where's your treasure? Right? Wilhelm said, I used to buy a latte every morning. Now I just get one per week. He has reduced. He's starting to see, man, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing the same stuff that I've been doing, expecting to get a different result. Where's your treasure? You know how difficult it is for people to actually have this conversation. Wait a second. He's asking me to actually answer this question. Yes. If you want to be a millionaire, yes. Get honest with yourself. Yes. Where's your treasure? I can stay here. I don't have to move forward. I can stay right here and we will help elevate a whole bunch of minds because this is groundbreaking results for some people. Where's your treasure? Where's your treasure? Vivian said, man, I put my money in the crypto. Right? It's going to say, well, I invested in my business. I'm telling you, when you look at the person in the mirror, you're going to realize that you are your own worst enemy. You're going to realize you're the one that's been stopping you from leveling up financially. You the one. You can blame, I mean, you can go fight for reparations. You can do all of that stuff. You can complain about what the government is and ain't doing. You can do all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, when I ask you, where did you spend your money last week? And if money is important to you, where'd you spend it? Where'd you invest it? And if you tell me, well, I bought the Nikes, I got the Jordans, I got the iPhone, whatever. You did all this stuff. Where your treasure is, there's your heart also. You want to be a millionaire? It's really simple. Number one, invest in yourself. You are your best investment. Number two, manage your finances. You are responsible for your money. Now, if we're honest, most of us have been irresponsible. Number three, control your spending. Number four, pay yourself first. Aren't you worth it? Aren't you worth it? I mean, you work 40 hours, 80 hours, plus the drive there, drive back. You've been spending, 200 hours a week just dealing with work. Don't you deserve to pay yourself first? I mean, don't you deserve to keep some of that money? I mean, you worked hard for it. I mean, why does the mortgage and the car note and the insurance and the phone bill and then all the bullshit you buy, why does that get all your money but you? Aren't you worth it? I mean, matter of fact, if you weren't worth it, you wouldn't be able to go out and get that money in the first place. Pay yourself first. Put that in the comments below. Pay yourself first. These are basic building blocks to millionaire, billionaire status. Those that don't master these building blocks, they just simply won't get there. And it's not that they don't know them. They just simply choose not to do them. They choose not to discipline themselves so they can get to where they say, in theory, they want to be. Miss Nita Diane said, man, for a while I was eating out all the time. Now I prepare my meals. I'm working on debt reduction and I'm investing more. Look how that's changed over time. Pay yourself first. You deserve it. You deserve to keep some of the money that you go out, you work hard for. You got to deal with all those clients and customers and their bad attitudes. You got to deal with your boss and his negligence. Don't you deserve it? Aren't you worth it? And we'll do number 5 today as we get into this thing. Number 5, how to become a millionaire. Number 5, New Black Wall Street Book Club. The Wealth Choice. Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. Let's read. Rule number 5. Make your money work as hard as you do. Make your money work as hard as you do. How do we simplify that? That simply means invest. Invest. Across every aspect of data among Black Americans wealthy, I found these statistics. 40% save 10 to 20% of their gross incomes, and nearly 75% have invested $100,000 or more in specific retirement accounts. Furthermore, the well-to-do don't like being in debt. The well-to-do don't like being in debt. Isn't that interesting? Those who have money and those who build fortunes, they don't like to be in debt. Now, what's being pushed right now to the not so well, to the have-nots? The haves don't like to be in debt. What's being pushed to the have-nots? Credit. Go in debt. Isn't that interesting? The haves don't like to be in debt. The have-nots don't mind being in debt. You see the difference? Let me say that again. I think we just woke some people up. They was in the back sleeping. They were sorry. Say, can I move up to the front of the class? Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't get that. The haves don't like to be in debt. It's not that they're never in debt. They don't like to be in debt. The have-nots don't mind being in debt. You see the problem? Now, when the have-nots go into debt, they're normally paying 25 to 30%. The have-nots always remain have-nots because they don't turn the corner to realize that is stupid. But they got to have what they want to have. They're waiting for it. It's not an option for them. Pride and ego comes before the fall. The haves don't like to be in debt. The have-nots don't mind being in debt. You see the difference? When asked, not including your mortgage, how much do you owe? One half of the respondents replied, less than $10,000. Millionaireship begins with savings with foregone consumption, which appears from a sufficient distance the same as poverty. The chief desire of the millionaires in this study is not money to waste on depreciating extravagances, but the freedom and power to expand their entrepreneurial ideas. And forget about keeping up with the Joneses. The Black financial elite will rather identify the Joneses as strength and work with them to uncover how they can leverage their own talents and skills in order to make smarter financial decisions. For the wealthy, earning, spending, and saving money is serious business. Very serious business. Earning, spending, and saving money is serious business. Everybody put in the comments, so my wealth is serious. My wealth is serious. Until it gets serious to you. See, too many of us at the end of the day, we just joke around with this thing. It's funny. I mean, look what I bought today. It's funny. That's what you did with your money? Okay. I hope you enjoy it. I wasted my whole check this weekend. Oh man, we went out drinking. Oh my goodness, I had $100 bar tab. Yeah, man, we smoked a pound of weed this weekend. Damn, I gotta go back to work on Monday. Oh, plantation gave me back. I had fun this weekend though. Now I gotta go back to the plantation. Man, I sure wish I could leave this play, but I can't leave this play because every weekend I spend my entire check just trying to deal with this place. My wealth is serious. It's serious business. It is by the mysterious power of saving and investing that the loaf is multiplied, that little becomes much, and that out of nothing comes the miracle of something. In chapter 6, you read the daring mission of Colleen Payne Neighbors to launch her enterprise. It is true that those who will pay the price of victory never need to fear final defeat. But truer is still, in fact, that the real secret of her success rests squarely on the seventh law. Why? Because investing is second nature to this savvy entrepreneur. As a freshly minted college graduate, she joined her employer's 401k plan without hesitation. To further augment her earnings at age 25, Payne Neighbors began purchasing Treasury EE savings bonds. Every 2 weeks, her bank automatically deducted $50 from her paycheck to purchase the bonds. 7 years later, when she was ready to buy her first house, she cashed in those bonds to make a $12,000 down payment. And you guessed it. Roughly 5 years later, when her rural Oklahoma town grew too small for her dreams, it was the equity in her home that served as leverage to her shaky startup when area bankers were non-committal. This is what this lady did. All right, this is back in the day. But anyway, she got a job. She immediately joined a 401k plan, got that free money. She was investing in bonds. I don't necessarily recommend that now, but she was just, hey, there's something's better than nothing. Everybody put that comment, something is better than nothing. It's really about what you do over time, not what you do overnight. She was building wealth over time. Every paycheck, she paid $50, go buy this. Now, what we say now, every paycheck, $50, go buy Bitcoin. But, y'all don't want to listen to me. Anyway, so she was buying bonds. Those bonds, now $50 every paycheck. Now, how long she was doing it, we don't know. But every paycheck, she paid herself first. Every paycheck, she invested. She invested. Now, from her investments, she was able to put down a $12,000 down payment for something that she had been doing. It became a habit. Everybody put in console, investing must become a habit. It's a good habit. So why not do it? You find yourself in the same position. You want to get that house? Instead of y'all thinking about the credit, start thinking about the money. See, some of y'all, you need to fix your credit. That's great. Really what you need to fix is your mindset. You fix your mindset, you begin to fix your money. You fix your money, ain't nobody turning you down. I mean, you come to the table with $12,000, they'll figure that out. They're like, well, I don't know. We want to get this $12,000 right now. Let's go and figure out how we can get them into this home. You don't believe me? Try it. Let me see what happens. You walk into the bank right now, you say, I want to get a mortgage. I got $20,000 down payment. You tell me if they're not going to find a way to get you into a house. They're not going to turn down $20,000. I know that. If you was a bank, you wouldn't turn it down either. You'd be like, well, they might not have the best credit, but goddamn, they got cash. They done did something right. Let's figure this out. Investing must become a habit. She was doing it over time. Then, because now she went and got this house, she put some money down. She's been paying over since she's been living there. Now it's time for her to move. The banks they weren't trying to hear that when it came to her getting her business. So she used her house to start her business. Wow. She used her house to start a business. Why is this so important to me? Because I'm telling you, Black people, y'all are getting some terrible advice. Y'all getting terrible advice. And here's the thing. It's really like the only advice that's out there, so it sounds like it's good. But it's not. It's not. You know where I get my advice from? My money advice? I get my money advice from millionaires and from billionaires. I do not take advice, money advice, And I don't care if that's what you do for a living. If that's what you do for a living, but you ain't making 6 and 7 figures doing that for a living, I don't really need to hear it. I mean, it might be good. I don't need to take it from you though. Give me the person that's over here that's using their own advice, and they're using their own advice to the tune of 7 figures. That's the person I'm listening to. Oh, you just started in the credit business 2 weeks ago. I'm supposed to listen to you? No, I listen to professionals. You got some advice for me? No, I'm sorry. It might be good and quality, but I can't hear it. Come on, the way my bank account is set up, I can't hear it coming from you. I'm telling you, guys are listening. Y'all listening to some terrible advice. You start studying millionaires. You start studying billionaires. That's the reason why I wrote the book. You know why? Because I said maybe somebody's going to say, you know what? It might be worth me actually reading what billionaires do, so then maybe I can start doing what billionaires do, and I can start to change my whole life and start to get some billionaire results. But it's as simple as a book, and I may not even invest in that. I don't know. Terrible advice. As I wrote in this chapter, the stock market stood at its most volatile point in decades. Stocks were up hundreds of points, if not thousands. One week and down thousands the next. The world is still sorting out this financial mess, both in the United States and abroad. In the near term, unemployment barely remains stable. Business activity is moderate at best, and in some sectors, the economic headlines continue to be scary. Clearly, the novice investor needs the most basic information regarding investing and who can afford to do so. John Rogers points out, before you figure out how to invest, you must decide if you should be investing at all. If you're going to invest on your own, invest in those companies you know and understand. I include these words here because they echo an important finding in the wealth choice data. Right? The wealthy buy stocks. The wealthy buy stocks. In order to generate multiple streams of income and diversify your portfolio, saving by itself is not enough. Unfortunately, the slim returns you might generate through a money market account or certificate of deposit will barely keep pace with inflation and taxes, let alone exceed them. Wow. So this is John Rogers. Who's John Rogers? Black man who John Rogers is a black man who actually owns an investment company called Ariel Investments. John Rogers, along with Melody Hobson, you might have heard that name. These are two black people who actually run an investment company. Who's still giving advice to black people? And we're not listening. Or we don't even know they exist. That's okay too, right? Here are the new rules of money. Saving money translates into saving the individual. Saving money translates into saving the individual. Ask the majority of men and women who have built 7-figure bank accounts and what they owe their wealth and fortune. They will tell you that their financial success is not only the fruit of struggle, but the fruit of habit. That they acquired their best quality when only a child. That they exercised the only discipline that will lead them out of bondage, never to see the likes of poverty again. I do not believe that anyone can be truly happy until he or she expresses that which the Creator has made to dominate in his or her life. Until the person is given vent to the grand passion that speaks loudest in his or her life, until he or she has made best use of that gift which was intended to take precedence over all the powers, no person can live full life while bound in any part of his or her nature. Saving and investing enables men and women to lift their heads above the crowd. How many of you guys want to lift your heads above the crowd? How many of you guys want to walk away from the crowd or broke, busted, and disgusted? Saving and investing enables men and women to lift their heads above the crowd. Here's what I know about the crowd. The crowd is broke. The more you want to hang around the crowd, the broker you'll be. There's a reason why 1% own and control more than 50% of the wealth and resources in this country. Because they just simply do something that's different than the rest of the 99%. And it doesn't matter if we started all over. It will still, all the money will flow right back into the same hands because they know something different. Knowledge is power, especially when you can execute. Especially when you can execute. Hang around the crowd. Now, here's the interesting thing. Let me tell you something. This morning we had our investing session, right? This morning we had our investing session. We had 25 people in our investing session, right? 25 black folk in our investing session. Here's the question I asked them. I said, in your lifetime, in your life, when have you seen 25 black people get together and talk about growing their account? When have you seen 25 black people get together and talk about building wealth? They said, most of them said never. They never seen 25 black people get together and start talking about let's build wealth together. Now, we've seen us come together to party. We've seen us come together to go to the funeral. We've seen us come together to go get some chicken. I said, man, when have you ever seen 25 black people come together and start talking about, even having a conversation about building wealth? Most of them said never. Then I said, you know what? That means that you're part of the few. At least you showed up. At least you're willing to have the conversation. Wish you're willing to try to learn what you don't know about money. And then I started thinking to myself, that's the problem. Now we got a whole bunch of us that's in the community. But if we can't find that we got 25 black people that come together and start talking about building wealth together, never. Think about who you're hanging around. The advice that you're taking. Are you having conversations with others about wealth? Are you having $1 million conversations? Or do you study millionaires? Do you find out what they do that you're not doing and then start to do it? To be independent, self-reliant, and shielded from the debt and the anxiety, the frightful obligation and emotion that destroys homes and ruins marriages, wrinkles the smoothest face and stifles peace of mind. Thrift and saving place hope into the heart of and raise self-esteem. There is an impressive fact in the gospel story of the prodigal son. The statement, he wasted his substance in riotous living, means more than he wasted his funds. Rather, it implies that he wasted himself. And the most serious offense of all waste is not the waste of substance, but the waste of self, of your energy, of your capital, and lowering the morals, the gradual loss of character and self-respect that thrift encourages and promotes. The best form of insurance against poverty and failure is saving and investing. The best insurance against poverty and failure is saving and investing. Saving and investing means a warm home and healthy children, a restful vacation and a college education, a secure retirement and help for the needy. In short, the saving of money translates into the saving of self. I suggest that you begin now to adhere to the 7th law of wealth to make your money grow. Saving money translates into saving self. I suggest you begin now. If you're an individual that's watching us here today live, as we're again a New Black Wall Street Book Club, you're saying to yourself, this makes sense. I mean, these little 5 financial literacy principles, it makes sense. Number 1, investment in myself. Invest in myself. You are your best investment. Number 2, manage your finances. It's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to manage your finances. Number 3, control your spending. Does that make sense? Number 4, right, pay yourself first. Does that make sense? Number 5, now that you're paying yourself first, you begin to learn how to make your money work for you. Does that make sense? If it makes sense to you, question is, are you ready to begin now? Doing what makes sense. Or it doesn't make sense. That doesn't work. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, keep getting what I've been getting, and whatever that is, that's it. That is what it is. Not that it's good or bad. Cool. But we're talking about people that want to be millionaires. We're reading from a book from successful millionaires. Study. That's who you say, you know what? That makes sense. And I'm going to begin now. Go ahead and put the console NOW in capital letters. It makes sense. And if it makes sense, I need to get started. If you need to get started, what better time than to start now? If that's you, go and put in the comments below NOW in capital letters now. And here's our lesson. Millionaire lesson number 8 from Kimbro Caldwell. He says, as I preach to my congregation every Sunday when it comes to staying afloat financially and living within your means, there's nothing easy about easy payments. Learn to say the words, I can't afford it. Learn to say the words, I can't afford it. This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put it in a book, like The Wealth Choice, and we absolutely will find it. In the comments below, I'd love for you to share your takeaway from today. What'd you learn today? What is this? Is there something that inspired you? Is there something that caused you to think different? I'm simply asking you to answer this question in the comments below. Was this worth your time? And why? Was this worth your time? And why? Now, while you guys are typing that, I know I talk much faster than you type. We'll shout out our sponsors for the day. We'll shout out our sponsors for the day who have helped to make this thing a reality. This New Black Wall Street. Say, you know what? This is valuable. We want to make sure that this continues to keep on. Right? We don't want the Reading Rainbow to stop. And we like that show. I don't know what happened to it. You know what happened to it? People stopped investing in it. That's what happened to it. It'll still be around today if people valued it. But you know what? As much as we talk about how much we liked it, your treasure is where your treasure is, there's your heart also. So you don't put your money where your mouth is, then the things that you say that you value, they disappear. And let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand it. When you don't put your money where your mouth is, the things that you say that you value, they begin to disappear. Because you go support financially where your heart really is. Although you might say, I like this. Think about that for a second. How much money do we spend on entertainment? But yet we say we value education. You don't went broke watching going to the football games. But you value entertainment, but you value education. You didn't spend not one dime on a book. But you don't spend all your dimes on the concert tickets. Where your treasure is, there's your heart also. You can talk all the shit you want about what you value. Show me your checkbook. The Black Bazaar, Afrocentric marketplace, specializing in Afrocentric home decor. Check them out at www.theblackbazaar.com, www.theblackbazaar.com. Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, also Black art inspired gifts. Blackberry Charisma, right? Now, this sister here in her business, be able to help you with the branding and marketing. She creates custom crafts to be able to make sure that you stay on top of buying t-shirts and mugs and stuff like that. She also has a pretty dope lineup of lingerie. Check her out at www.blackberrycharisma.com, www.blackberrycharisma.com. 5-Factor Consulting, right? 5-Factor Consulting be able to help you to increase your cash flow, repair your credit, help you to get the money thing right. Maybe you realize I'm having a hard time trying to do this by myself. I need to get some consulting. Well, check out 5factorconsulting.com at www.5factorconsulting.com. And then last but not least, Big Sis Media. I'd be able to help you to become relevant and current in anything that you're doing digital. Maybe it's time for you to upgrade that website. Maybe you need some upgraded flyers, digital flyers. We are in a digital age. Make sure that you represent correctly. It might be time for you to get an upgrade, or you might just be starting. Well, Big Sis Media can help you with all of that stuff. My brand is powered by Big Sis Media, so all the stuff that you see from our flyers to our trailers, all that stuff is pretty much done by Big Sis Media. Well, check her out at www.bigsismediagroup.com. www.bigsismediagroup.com. Let's catch up on these comments, guys. See what you learned today, your takeaway from today, and then we'll go ahead and start to piece up on out of here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. All right, man, over Instagram. She said, man, sorry, that was funny. She said, this is sad. That is sad, though. It is, if you think about it. Right? And Ms. ITW Investor, I am my best investment. The professor teach. What's going on? Learn that we have to be intentional with our spending habits. Intentional, and I would also say probably with your investing habits, right? Listen, guys, I really want us to start, this word become important to us because we hear what they say, $1.3 trillion of spending power. They keep talking. That's something that kind of goes around, right, about how much collectively we have and how much collectively we can spend. But when we give it all away, that's not power at all. When we give it all away, that's not power at all. That's just wasting. So we got $1.3 trillion that we're able to spend, and we do spend it. We just don't spend it with ourselves. We spend it with everybody else. We give it away. Now, what happens if we have $1.3 trillion of investing power? Meaning that I didn't just give it all away. I invested in something that could bring me back a return. I invested in something, now my money goes out, brings money back with me. I got we had, right? Because it's just a shift in philosophy. It's the same money. It's just about what you do with it. It's just a shift in philosophy. It's the same money. It's just about what you do with it. So if we as black people said, damn, spending it all, let's invest as much as we can into things that gives our money a chance to go out and work for us. Where will we be? Now, here's the thing. We know the whole community ain't going to do it. That's okay. Here's the question. Will you do it? Will you do it? Mr. Napier said, man, worth my time, let go of broke way of thinking and learn the rich way of thinking. Mr. Beck Goodrich, right? Thank you, worth my time. It is my responsibility. Right? I mean, I don't need any more shoes. I need more crypto. What's up, Debbie? How are you, man? Diane said, yeah, investing must become a habit. Miss Glenda Tate, man, said, make my money work for me, control spending, become debt-free. Miss Vivian, man, this is especially valuable to those of us who waste money and look rich and live poor. An opportunity to change your mindset. I love how you're talking about everybody else, Miss Vivian. What about yourself? What did you get out of it? Not what should everybody else get out of it. Brother Robinson said, man, this is worth my time because I'm going to invest $50 more in the Bitcoin just like that. I'm going, you know what? He said, I'm making a commitment to add $50 more into this thing called Bitcoin, an asset per month. He just basically said, you know what? I just heard about a lady that's what she did back in her day. And she was able to take that and then put $12,000 down on the house. Well, shoot, I'm just going to do the same thing in 2021. My preferred choice of investing is going to be Bitcoin. So I'm just going to increase my investing into this thing that I prefer. See how quickly that's a shift in philosophy. That's how quickly you can begin to turn, you can begin to change, you can begin to go in a different direction as it relates to your finances. This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Black folk do read. You put in a book, we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, certified global financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, The Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we really need. Thank God, that's more than enough. Till next episode, you know what time it is. It's the DJ. It's the music.
It's the New Black Wall Street Book Club. With your host, Evan Jefferson. It's time for us to go. Yeah. Now, you ain't got to leave the computer, but we encourage you to get out there and learn and apply all the things you learn at the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Yeah. The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street Book Club.